Hey y'all, how's it going? Look at this, it's the last speech of the quarter, other than our reflections. And we were told to do a narrative speech, so I got a couple stories for you. First, I'd like to ask a question. You ever stood up for somebody or something and had the end outcome actually turn out completely opposite of what you thought was right or even ethical by today's standards? It happens all the time. And we tend to think that maybe it's not worth standing up for what's right, standing up for what you believe in, standing up for your fellow man or woman next to you who knows being treated or ridiculed in a poor manner and being falsely accused. My first story, they're both at work. I'm not going to say where I work because I don't want to put a bad name on the place, but I'm sure many of you know people that work there and you've heard horror stories, and this is just two more that maybe you haven't heard of. One instance is where this girl and this guy had a friendship outside of work, and apparently it went bad. And they were going back and forth on some social media site, and it was causing other problems. And he had gone up to her and asked her to stop doing what she was doing because it was causing problems. What does she do? I was there, I saw the whole thing. She runs down to HR and says he's harassing her, and HR writes a corrective action report on this guy. He comes and tells me about it, and I said I was standing right there, and I saw the whole thing, and what she's saying isn't the way things went down. So I went down to HR on my own accord and I said, hey, I said, this is what I heard. Is this true? And they said, yeah, we wrote this guy up for harassment. And I said, well, this is what I saw. I was there and saw the whole thing and explained the whole situation to him. And the HR person proceeded to tell me that they've already made their choices and their decisions and blah, 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 blah. And they weren't going to change them. And I said, but wait a minute. I said, I'm sitting here telling you I saw the whole thing. I heard everything word for word. And you're going to tell me that you're not going to change your stance or your point of view or tear up this corrective action, this write-up for this guy because this isn't what went on? And he said no. Well, turns out that that girl ended up getting fired not too long after that. Amazing, huh? So I have another. This is actually this next story is actually my own experience. At the time, we had two shifts working, first and second shift, and I was working a lot of overtime. And you see people that you don't normally see during the day at night. And I try to be nice to everybody, try to smile, say hi, ask how people are doing, especially if they have, that look on their face like things aren't going well. So I did that with this one girl, and I knew who her boyfriend was. There was nothing ever said that was wrong, out of line, other than hi, how you doing? Is everything okay? Crack a smile. What does she do? She runs down to HR. Actually, she went up to the cabinet shop up on the hill and went to their HR because it was a woman. She didn't even go to the man HR guy at our plant. Tells them I'm harassing her by saying hi and smiling, asking how you are. That's harassment. I guess apparently to some people that is. And this actually happened. It happened a while ago, but it took a couple of weeks for HR to call me on the carpet on it and start asking me questions. And of course, when they pulled me in the office, first of all, they said, well, do you know so-and-so? I'm like, no. I never knew the person's last name. I only knew their first name. And then they proceeded to tell me how I was harassing this person by saying hello to them, asking them how they were doing, and smiling. Okay. Well, it turns out that shortly after, she got fired too. She was doing drugs. She actually fell asleep while she was grinding with a 4-inch disc grinder on fiberglass. You got to be on some pretty heavy drugs or not be sleeping, or you got something going on wrong with you to fall asleep with a grinder in your hand. So again, she got fired, and lo and behold, at the time I was thinking, I can't even believe that I'm in this HR office having this go on. I mean, that's just ridiculous and absurd to me. But it turned out for the better because they eventually found out that, she did have a problem with the substance abuse. And I'm sure that anyone else she complained about, I can't be the only one. And everything else was probably all null and void at that point because she was a paranoid schizophrenic with a substance abuse problem. But in the end, she got what she had coming to her. She's trying to make trouble for me. and she's the one who got the short end of the stick. So when you stand up for other people and you think that things aren't going to really go the way you want them to, sometimes they turn around, and it takes, if you believe in karma, it takes time for karma to come back around. I really think that in the end, people get what they deserve. They think that they're getting away with something, and they're really not. The short-term gratification might be there, but long-term, it doesn't seem to be working out for at least the people that I've seen. And that's not always the case. You see plenty of people get away with lots of bad things, and you wonder how they can get up in the mirror and look at themselves. And then when you have somebody who's really good, doing the right thing, they can't seem to catch a break. And I've been down that road too. I've been down both roads. I guess what you can take from it is you really never know what's going to happen, and I think that you should always lean towards the good. I think that something good comes out of everything, much like this class, like all the schooling I've done, everything I've learned about myself as well as some other people. It's been a great experience. You just have hope and keep doing the right thing, and you'll prevail. I believe we can do anything we want if we put our minds to it. And even though life throws lemons at us, we make lemonade. Anyway, I hope that you never have to go through some of these life challenges, and the ones that you do are easy mountains to climb. And when you reach the top, pat yourself on the back. You deserve it. Take care.